Your daily escape is brought to you by me, Cassie, with Oddball Escapes. Yellowstone National Park transforms into a winter wonderland during the winter months. And yes, you can visit here. It is a completely different experience compared to seeing it in the summertime. And we want to show you what your winter experience might look like. In the past, you had to use snowmobiles and cross country skis to access the park. And while those things still exist along with snowshoeing, it's now more of a fun sport, not really a necessity. You'll most likely explore the park in one of these. This is a snow coach, and one of the official companies in the park operates tours from these really fancy vehicles. I mean, look how tall this is. Take a look at the skis on the back as a reference point. And the tires, they are about 3 to 4 feet tall. And if you take a closer look, you'll notice that they look partially deflated. They are kept at a mere 7 pounds of pressure. You see, they don't plow the roads in the winter, and the snowpack that you'll be driving over can be as much as 10 feet above the roadway's surface. Here's a side by side of the snow coaches now compared to a version from back in the 1960s. Today's snow coaches are much more comfortable. Think of it as a 21st century sleigh for the 13 or so people on board. Also, check out the panoramic windows, perfect for when you're traveling the winter routes throughout the park. You'll be fully immersed in these extraordinary landscapes. So, what might you see along the way? Wildlife. Yes, even in the winter months, wildlife is active. Now, we know that bears go into hibernation, and chances are you won't see them because they are bundled up in their dens, sleeping their way through winter. But keep your eyes open for moose, elk, foxes, mule deer, coyotes, and for bison, like those that you see here. In the wintertime, their faces are often covered in snow. That's because they forage for food beneath the snow. Take a look at his chin. Do you see the clumps of snow and ice? These are called snowbeards. Sometimes these ice clumps can get so large that they hang from the bison's jaw until the weight of the ice forces them to break off. And it sometimes rips some fur with it as well. Yeah, ouch. Also, did you know that bison kind of have a thing for the Old Faithful Inn? You may see clusters of bison hanging out near the inn or the parking lot. It may even look like they're lining up to check into the lodge to spend the night. They're not. This area is simply full of geothermal geysers, hot springs, steam vents, and it creates a warm, cozy environment for the bison to hang out. Also, in winter, you may have a better chance of seeing this animal. Wolves. In fact, it's easier to spot wolves in the wintertime because their dark fur stands out against the white backdrop of the snow. So keep your cameras ready, especially when you're in the northern Lamar Valley area of the park. There are at least 99 wolves living in 10 different packs, and because the conditions up in the mountain during the winter are more harsh, they tend to come down into the meadows to forage and hunt for food. Now, in the southern area of the park, you might see trumpeter swans. Okay, when I read this, that just seemed weird to have swans in this winter landscape. But their summer homes are in Canada, and when they fly south to Yellowstone for the winter, they hang out near the Firehole and Madison rivers. Why? Well, these rivers don't freeze. Thanks to the hydrothermal activity in the park, the river water is constantly being fed with hot water from the geothermal features, so they stay warm enough for the trumpeter swans and other wildlife to feed on the aquatic vegetation. And a neat little fun fact, look around the edges of the hot springs, and you might just see little flowers. Yes, even small flowers can survive in the wintertime next to the hot springs. Speaking of weird things, there are plenty of unusual and unique things to keep your eye open for while in the park in winter. Here's a few more. If you're lucky to be there when the conditions are right, you might get to experience ice fog. Ice crystals can float in the air, which gives an illusion of fog. And as the crystals drift through the air, they can catch the sun's rays and reflect it to create a natural and breathtaking sight. And similarly, when geysers shoot hot water into the air that's at near boiling temperatures and it hits the cold winter air, it may look like frozen ice pellets floating back down to the ground. This is called geyser rain. Also, keep your eyes open for shiny patches in the snow. When snow melts and then refreezes, it creates a smooth, reflective surface. This is called a snow mirror. When conditions are right, entire fields and mountains can appear shiny and reflective. And finally, if it's a clear night and you're in these wide open spaces, look up to the sky. Stars can be incredible, but also look down to your feet. Now, I'm sure you know that you can sometimes see your shadow while standing in the moonlight, right? But even when there's no moon, take a look. Let your eyes adjust to the darkness, and against the snow covered ground, look for your shadow created by the stars. It will be faint, but yes, starlight shadows can be seen in this winter landscape. So, Yellowstone in the winter. We can help you get there in January and February. Our favorite tour itinerary also includes Jackson, Wyoming, as well as a stop in Grand Teton National Park. Let's go.